What is going on, YouTube? It is Primitive here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a match between myself on the left, and I'm going to be playing BlackWarGreymon, and on the right is going to be my boy Justin, aka JustDigi TCG, and he is playing Bloomlordmon. So this matchup is one that I don't play too often, but it can be one that can go one-sided really either way, depending on how the early game goes. Just because you are able to de-digivolve and delete with BlackWarGreymon, it can help control the board. Plus, I play Crimson Blaze, which is a very strong card, but of course, Bloomlord is probably the most high-rolly deck in all of Digimon, so the fact that you could just high-roll and be able to pop off is something that's always prevalent with Bloomlordmon, and there's very little counterplay to that. So, gonna hope to see that Crimson Blaze, so that way I can at least lower the potential of the deck a little bit. But gonna promote up here, gonna go for the Weedmon, and going for the Ayatarmon, just going to set that up so that way they are able to start playing a Digimon next turn. I'm assuming they promoted so that way they can cycle in the back, be able to hatch, be able to get some more draws going, but it is going to leave them open to being deleted, as I'm going to be able to Digivolve up into the BT8 Metal Greymon, which will allow me to de-Digivolve one of my opponent's Digimon and then delete a Digimon with 3k or less DP. And unfortunately for Bloomlord, it does have a ton of 3k champions, so I was able to de-Digivolve the Ayatar into the Weedmon and then pop that Weedmon, just leaving my opponent with just the Pamumon there. And they are going to go for the Vegiemon in the back, which is a very interesting include because I don't feel like it really flows with the deck super well, but they are having multiple Vegiemons, it looks like. So here comes out the Davis. They are playing the blue package, so this is going to allow them to search out a blue and the green, but of course they only have green Digimon in the build, so going to be able to search, but I'm just going to pop it with the BlackWarGreymon pretty much immediately, so that way they aren't getting that memory, and also shutting off any potential blue options, so that way there's a higher chance that they are going to be dead. But now Justin is going to make a little bit of a misplay here, at least from his words. He is going to go for the Hydramon, forgetting that I do have protection. In fact, I have 2 layers of protection, so I am able to just detach the level 4s. I still have protection with the level 5s because of the Sagittarius mode, so I'm going to go ahead and Digivolve up into the Gaomon here, going to de-Digivolve the Hydramon back down to a Blossomon, and then I'm just going to clear the board right here, swing, because the Hydramon got de-Digivolved. I'm not going to have to pay that memory to be able to attack. So going to just set up with that Agumon, get another Digimon on board, and then reboot. So now I'm going to be able to have that Gaomon swinging for 2 checks next turn, which is good because I need to start getting some early aggression going because my opponent doesn't have any checks lost yet, and so I need to start getting that through. But controlling the board is step 1 because, like I said, Bloomlord can really pop off, and they really need that board state and all those Digimon on the board to be able to keep going. So although I am going a little bit slower by controlling the board, I am still able to put myself in a decent position going forward. So going to start swinging in here, going to be swinging those 2 checks since Gaomon does have that natural sec +1, and I am just going to build up into Blocker Greymon since I do have the Greymon X Antibody. That sets me up with a blocker, and now I'm going to swing the Greymon X Antibody for 2 checks since I have that starter deck Greymon. Not that big of a deal if it goes down, I just wanted to get those 2 checks and then go up into another Greymon in the back, so that way I can just set up for another stack. But reboot with the Gaomon. Now there's only a Blossomon on the board. They can play the Mushroomon here, which allows them to go for Digisorption effects or this HPD. So thinking about what mega they want to go in for here, it can be the Hydramon, it can also be the Bloomlordmon, but they are going to go for the Hydramon, which is going to suspend the Greymon, and then they will gain a memory since they have that vegetation suspended in that Mushroommon. So they can go ahead and swing over, or actually they're going to swing into security, and I guess just seeing what they had, but I hit tie, and they're not going to be able to clear both the Digimon off the board, so I will have 1 Digimon on the board and then 1 in the back. So I theoretically do have game just off of those swings right there, and Justin's just going to call it and move on into game 2, where he is going to start off surprisingly and go for that Davis turn 1, putting me at 3, which means that I can build up with that red memory boost and then go with the Greymon X Antibody. I don't have a Greymon, so I just have to skip that and go for the champion that I do have in the Greymon X Antibody, and unfortunately put my opponent at 1 when they go to 3. So not the greatest usage of memory, but now I can go ahead and promote out, go up into the BT8 Metal Greymon, just delete the stack that's on the board and get me an ultimate, try to build up into a mega in the future turns, try to get rid of that Davis once again. But going to be searching out that Blossomon with the Palmon, and then can Digizorp up into the Blossomon, and then think about going into the Hydramon, but they are going to go for the swing with the Blossomon first, which is incredibly dangerous. I am surprised that they went for it, but this time I do not have protection because I don't have dual levels in my sources, so the Hydramon is going to bottom deck me. Not going to be able to save it that time, and I don't have a rookie, so we're just going to hard play the Greymon, go into the Greymon X antibody, which allows me to get draws, and then once again go for that BT8 Metal Greymon to digivolve the Hydramon and pop the Palmon. So they have the ultimate, which is unfortunate because that means they can just go back up into another Mega if they want to, but I do have protection on this stack, so Hydramon isn't the craziest, and they don't have a lot of Digimon on board, so Bloomlord isn't the craziest either, so it's not the thing that I am the most terrified of. But thinking about what they want to go for here, I think I see it's either HPD or Grandel Soul. If it is HPD, that could give them some future options later to gain memory off the Bloomlord and start to pop off. But really think about what they want to go for here. Going to go for the red Vegiemon in the back just to get a little bit of progression going. And I see that Hydramon, so they are thinking about going for it. Again, I do have that protection, so I would be able to at least stop this turn from them being able to bottom deck me, but instead going for that green memory boost, search out the Palmon, just get a little bit more cycle and search going. But now they're just going to go for the Ayatarmon in the back. Since I do have the Greymon X antibody protection, it looks like they chose not to go for the Mega and just building up another stack, but I'm going to go straight for that BlackWarGreymon, pop that Davis, so again blue cards are dead, and also just choke them to 1. But now they are going to go for the green memory boost to go to 3, and then they are going to go into the Hydramon, just thinking about which one they wanted to digivolve on, thinking if they want to go on the Blossomon or the Ayatarmon, but they will digivolve up. They'll put me to 2, and then they'll be able to suspend the Pamumon, which would suspend my BlackWarGreymon, and then they will be able to gain that 2 memory. So it makes more sense to go on top of the Blossomon, because now you can keep turn and you will be able to swing over the BlackWarGreymon, because I didn't hit that Metal Greymon X antibody, which means I don't have a DP buff, so they will just be able to swing over 13 to 12, and I'm going to draw, once again, not a rookie, and I'm just going to scoop it up because my opponent has way too much on the board and there's nothing that I can do about it. So going on into game 3, I will have my opponent go first. I want to be going second, get that extra draw, and be able to have some memory. As we see, they will put me to 3 here and hit that Palmon, so going to be able to search out later. And going into my turn, I am just going to go for it in the back, and then I'm going to play my own memory boost. Still need a couple pieces of the stack to be able to build all the way up, so going to look at top 4, and I am going to grab that Greymon X antibody because I do want that protection. But now going for the Cool Boy, and I actually find another Greymon X antibody, so could have grabbed something else and potentially gone with that Cool Boy to grab it, but obviously I don't know the cards in my deck on the top, so can't just do something that simple. But now I'm going to go for a second red memory boost, once again searching. Gonna have to put 2 ties to the bottom, which is unfortunate because now I don't have a memory tamer this game, and I just grab a Searcher Agumon so that way I can start to search out. I need champions, I need ultimates, and I have 3 memory boosts and a Cool Boy now, so I have an incredible amount of memory. And luckily for me, my opponent is having a slower start, and I'm very close to just popping off. I just need the champion and the ultimate, and then it's pretty much good to go because I have the Megas to build up. So gonna go for that starter deck. Greymon, give me security attack +1, which I do have the BT1 WarGreymon in my hand, which doesn't check security options when it attacks, so it's going to be nice for me to pair that there, get the extra attacks. And unfortunately, my opponent decides to pass once again instead of having something to play out. They have the green memory boost, so there is a chance they could have played something out, but maybe they just don't want their Digimon to get deleted. So I'm going to digivolve into Metal Greymon, go to 0, go for the Alterous mode and the X antibody just so I can get the draws and be able to get those stacks, extra security attack +1 from the Metal Greymon X. So I'm going to be swinging here for 1, 2, 3, 4 checks with no options, swinging to that Ice Wall, but there's no options right there. So my opponent's sitting at 1 security left. I'm thinking about if I want to swing the Agumon or not. I decide I will, because it doesn't really matter if I hit anything here that's going to give my opponent resources or not, because they were so far behind, and there's no way they get rid of this Greymon with the X antibody protections. They are just going to scoop it up right there because I have all the Digimon in the world to be able to go for game, and they don't have the defense to be able to stop me. So if you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe because I'll be bringing you even more Digimon content. But I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.